Welcome back to another episode of the Authentic Man podcast with me, your host, David Chambers. This is another weekly mini episode that I'm doing. Quite enjoying these. It's quite nice just to get on the mic and say a few things. I feel like I sound like I'm a rapper or something, but no. It's just nice to, help people in this kind of small snippets. I see them being really enjoyed by people, and feel free to, if you've enjoyed this, to share it with someone or share it with a friend or put it on your social media and say what it is you learned, and even, tag me so I know, or even send me a message and tell me what you've enjoyed and what you learned from this episode. So I want to talk about something that's come up a lot with my coaching clients in their dating lives, the ones that are dating, is how to kind of create a more happy and fulfilling dating life, right? So I'm going to set the scene around how a lot of us relate to dating. And I'm going to use an analogy, actually, and it's really apt at the moment because of the football. And it's a bit like, so you're watching a football game and you are, you got your team. You want them to win, whoever it is, your team, you want them to win. So every time a ball is kicked, a cross goes in, an offside happens, you're up in arms. Every single decision, you're up in arms. Your emotions are swinging wildly from side to side, right? You're in a real emotional roller coaster because you're really attached to every single thing that happens, every kick of the ball, every offside, every corner, every goal that's disallowed, every VAR decision. You're really attached to all the little bits that happen along the way, right? And that leaves you at the end of any game, whether you win or lose, to be incredibly exhausted. Right, you're really tired, right? I know this feeling because I've watched plenty of football in my time. And if you don't win the game, you feel miserable, you feel unhappy. The world can feel pretty shitty. Now, that's how people relate to their dating lives, right? A lot of the time, we might be messaging a couple of people or one person or whatever it may be, and every message they send us has great meaning and great influence over our emotions and our feelings. And if they don't message us, we feel a certain way. If they don't message us fast enough, we feel a certain way. If they, say something to us on a date and we're like, oh God, does that mean they don't like us? We are on this emotional roller coaster all the time, right? And it's similar to the football that I've just described. So you're going on dates and maybe, you have a good day. Oh, great. You go with them again. Oh, I'm not sure if that was a good date. You're analyzing, overanalyzing, getting stressed about the littlest things, the littlest comments, right? They can make. They might say to you they don't like something about you. Like, oh, I really don't like how you, I don't know, hold your fork, right? For example, or how you say a certain word. And in that moment, you start thinking, oh God, if they don't like that about me, then they're not going to want to be with me. They're not want to spend time with me and all these sorts of things. And that's a real fucking emotional roller coaster to be going through. And it's not really a way you want to be dating, right? And again, it's very similar to football. You're highly attached to every little small thing that happens. It means a lot about the relationship, how it's developing. It means a lot about you and who you are and your value within dating, whether how dateable you are, how lovable you are, how attractive you are. Every little thing that happens has this great meaning. What happens really is something happens, like someone texts you or doesn't text you, and you're asking yourself, what does this mean about me? What does this mean about how good I am? What does this mean about how lovable I am? What does this mean about if this person likes me? You're continuously asking yourself that question, and it's fucking tiring, right? And if you've got friends and you're having these conversations with them, whether you're a man or a woman, it's really fucking tiring to listen to as well, right? And there's a different way. There's a different way to relate to your dating. And that way is to have a healthy detachment from it, right? Is to know that every little thing that happens, every little message that gets sent to you doesn't necessarily have a great, huge meaning about who you are. It's someone else's expression of what they're doing or what they like or what they don't like. And it doesn't necessarily detract from who you are as a person, right? So you don't need to, for instance, if the person you're dating, the man or woman you're dating, doesn't get back to you straight away, there's nothing to do with you. It's cool. It's okay. You can be valid. You can be a decent human being. You can be lovable and them not text you back straight away. You can be a good lover. You can be a worthwhile partner if the person doesn't like a particular attribute about you. I can talk about this with me and my partner also. We don't love everything about each other. There's things we don't like about each other. And we can survive in that. We're okay with that because we know that that is a perfectly healthy way to be. So if you have this healthy detachment, right, you still want the relationship or the dating to progress to a place that you would like it to, but it doesn't have to. And if it doesn't mean anything about you. You can go, okay, if it happens, then that's really good. I can strive for it. I can have enthusiasm for it. I can take action towards, where I want it to go. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't mean I'm a disaster. It doesn't mean that you're a terrible person and that no one will ever love you. And this is a really subtle way of just relating to dating and how we date, because otherwise, and I've seen this, people become really like fatalistic constantly. I'm going on a date with somebody, oh, it's going well, oh my god, it's not going well, they said this, they said that, and it's really exhausting, and it's really brings on a lot of anxiety and stress and fear and worry, and it's really not good for you to be dating in this way. It's not great to date people who are this way either, right? Even if you think you're successfully hiding this way of being, right, you're not successfully hiding. People can feel it in the way that you're acting. So it's just to start bringing yourself away from it, right? And there's various practices you can do, which I can talk about at a later date, to just, pull yourself away and focus on yourself and not focus on this other person completing you, making you a better person, making you happy, and start to make yourself happy. And that might be through, for yourself, like, practicing various self-love practices. It might just be, spending time with your friends, your loved ones, people you enjoy spending time with, doing things you enjoy, right? And knowing you're having a good time, so that everything this other person does doesn't mean so much about you, because you are doing things you love. You are embodying the things you enjoy, right? And it's just a really subtle thing, right? And it makes a huge difference. It makes a fucking massive difference. And the reason I know this is because I've worked with lots of people, and when they start to shift away from it, they find themselves finding the sort of partner they want, right? So it's a very subtle difference, a very subtle thing, very easy thing to change. And I think that's it really today, actually. Like that in itself, like I said, just having a more slightly healthier detachment, from the small kind of ins and outs and the details of when you're dating someone, the messages, what they say, what they don't say, what they leave out, the emojis they don't put in or do put in, and reading all these deep messages into that, and just taking a little bit of healthy detachment away from that, right? And just being with it and stop being in it all the time, and being your emotions being thrown around because of what someone else is doing or not doing, because it's often, doing and not doing. And just having that healthy detachment around the people you're dating, and also, even if you're in a relationship, it's the same, having that level of healthy detachment. So yeah, that's it for today's episode. And as I said at the start, if you found this useful, if you found this to be helpful to what you're dealing with right now, post it up on social media, let someone else know, let a friend know, tag me, even send me a message on Instagram. You can find me at @theauthenticman_, and just say, yeah, David, I really got this out of this podcast episode. I'd love to hear what people get out. Every so often I do get messages from people saying, what they enjoyed, what they didn't enjoy, what they'd like more of. And I'm always totally open to those. So feel free to get in contact as well. But yeah, I think that is completely it for me now. And have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on the next episode.